I'm Jennifer Ananda. I'm the Executive Director of the Sexual Trauma and Abuse Care Center in Lawrence. The Care Center has been here now for 51 years. We celebrated 50 last year. We were one of the first 4 rape crisis centers in the United States and the first one in Kansas. Through the years, we have changed names, but our services have not changed. They've only expanded. We provide advocacy services with a 24/7 hotline, as well as hospital visits with folks who may be getting a forensic exam, and any other advocacy, such as court advocacy that folks need. We offer therapeutic services, free therapeutic services for both adults and children. And then we also do prevention and education throughout the community, throughout all of our service area. Broadly, our mission is to create a culture of consent by providing 24/7 support for survivors of sexual violence in our entire service area, which includes Douglas, Franklin, and Jefferson counties. We want a community that is free of sexual trauma and abuse and that supports the healing of survivors in our community.
Can you kind of give us an overview? You serve 3 counties. Do you have any kind of statistics, or can you give us some insight into how many people you serve in Douglas and Jefferson, Franklin?
The Care Center has seen an increase in numbers in the last few years, and statistically, we can only know so much because only so much is reported. But we have served over 900 people for the last few years, each year with our agency throughout our service area. We all know someone who's been impacted by sexual violence. I've never met a person who hasn't at least known someone who's been impacted by this issue. So we know that it's pervasive and that there are folks who need our services.
You are the former mayor of Lawrence. You are also an attorney. When you were on the Lawrence City Commission, did you gain any particular insight into the kind of work you're doing now?
So I've been in the field of sexual and domestic violence for more than 15 years. My work on the City Commission also included work associated with that. When I was on the commission, I proposed the Safe Bar Ordinance that requires agencies seeking a liquor license to attend some sort of bystander intervention training in order to get that license. So that was something I was very proud of the work on the City Commission. When I started there as well, we were working on an ordinance to protect folks in the massage industry from sexual violence as well. So those were 2 pieces of that work that connected very, very closely with the work that I do in my day job.
There may not be a typical call for your services, but can you give us a sense of how survivors of sexual assault or abuse come to your attention, and then tell us how you go about helping them?
A lot of folks reach out to the Care Center for the first time by calling our crisis hotline that is available 24/7. We also have folks who are able to walk in from 10 to 4 Monday to Friday in our offices at 330 Main across the street from the hospital. We also have outreach events where folks can, grab a pamphlet and then call that number someday when they need it or pass along to someone else who needs it. So those are the primary ways that folks get in front of us. We also go to schools and provide education for students on prevention. We'll go where we're asked to go to provide that information.
What is the biggest thing that people don't know about the center that you operate?
That's a very good question. I think that the work that we do is talking about things that people don't want to talk about or think about. It's really difficult work. We have incredible staff here who do incredible work every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rain or shine, we're like the Postal Service. We're always here for folks, but we don't take holidays off.
When you give a presentation to the Lions Club or the Optimists or the Rotarians, what's the biggest takeaway? What's the message you give them that you want to sink into the people that you present to?
I think that the biggest message is that none of us are immune from the impact of sexual violence in our lives. All of us know someone who's been impacted or we've been personally impacted throughout our lives.
My name is Christina Gentry. I work as the Director of Communications at the STA CARE Center. What I want to drive home is that it happens as a result, and survivors are a result of abuse most often by people that they know and trust. This is not stranger danger about people picking anyone up off the streets and mishandling them. This is handled by people that are in their space every day. So I think the confidential and the free really is something I want people to drive home with. And here at the STA CARE Center, we believe all survivors. You don't have to prove that you were assaulted. prove that you were raped or prove that you are a victim of domestic violence or stalking in order to be listened to and heard and cared for here.
You talked about all the free services that you provide here. Where does the money come from to fund this center?
So we are primarily funded through state and federal grants, through the Victims of Crime Act, the Violence Against Women Act, et cetera. Those funds support a lot of our therapeutic staff and a lot of our advocacy staff. We also receive some funding, particularly for the ordinance training through the city as well as the county. And supporters like your listeners are really the foundation of how we run this organization.
So state and federal grants, a little money from the city for the bar program, and then this big fundraiser.
So we are very excited. Our 11th Show Up for Survivors event is going to be a red carpet event. We look forward to all of our service area, including Lawrence, to show up in their sparkliest outfits to celebrate the survivors that we serve throughout our community, to see some really good entertainment, to hear some good music, to see circus performances. We got it all. We're very excited for November 9th from 7 to 9 at Liberty Hall. We're gonna do it up right, and it's gonna be a good time. We hope to see you there.